Out on my face. Hey everybody, it's Jeff here in the backyard of a random Airbnb in New Braunfels, Texas. Hungover, injured, and about to float the river. Tried to walk out here in the backyard because there's people in the house that aren't up yet. I tried to walk out here barefoot, but they got stickers in the backyard. So now I'm bleeding profusely to try to bring you Cowboys content. So the Cowboys traded for Trey Lance, right? That's pretty neat. That's kind of fun. It's super fun, actually. Just did a whole segment on Trey Lance the other day on the radio. So what does this mean? Well, it means we get to have a lot of fun. Because one thing that it means is, according to Josina Anderson and who she talked to, it means that the Cowboys are playing checkers with Dak about a contract extension, which I'm not saying they're not, because that is very Cowboys. I don't know if you guys remember when Zeke Elliott was holding out and hanging out in Cabo, that the Cowboys then gave Jalen Smith a contract extension. Like, they did this bit where they were like, we're open for business, for guys who want to make a deal with the Cowboys the way we want to do it. They thought that giving Jalen Smith a contract extension was going to get Zeke Elliott to report to camp without a contract. They're silly. They're goofy. The Cowboys are goofy. So, look, Josina Anderson's reporting it, that part of this is playing checkers with their starting quarterback to try to get him to sign an extension that's nicer to the team. That won't happen because Dak's a good quarterback, and the way his contract is structured, he could just play out this year and next year. They can't tag him, and he can hit the open market. There's literally no reason for him to worry about this in any way, shape, or form. So, are the Cowboys doing this partially to try to get Dak to take less money? Josina Anderson says yes, which is highly entertaining to me. That's cool. Now, if it turns out that Trey Lance can play, I do want to talk about this from a way that actually matters. Jeff for GM, thank you for the super chat. You're a beast. I love you. If Trey Lance can play a little bit, that's the other part of this, is obviously, like a lot of other people in the NFL, they really liked Trey Lance coming out of college. They like the tools of Trey Lance. Go look at how many passes he's attempted in his college and NFL career combined. And what you're going to see is that Trey Lance in college and NFL combined, 2 years as an NFL player, plus his college career, has thrown less passes than most NFL guys throw in a single season. So, what do the Cowboys actually do here that's relevant? Playing games and trying to leverage Dak to sign a contract for less, that won't work because it's the NFL, the quarterback position, and it just won't work. Could the Joneses think that'll work? Sure, they could. But they're goofy. They're silly. They're not good at this. They're not good at the contract stuff. Now, could the Cowboys reach a point where they dig in and they're like, we're not paying Dak Prescott top of the market money, and we're going to play through this season and see what we've got in Trey Lance, and if we think that he can get anywhere near his potential, then a year from now, in that offseason, where Dak once again has all the leverage in the world because he'll have 1 year left and can't be tagged, could they then realize, okay, we think we've got something here, and we're going to have a quarterback who's cheap, although at that point, Lance would be, this is year 3, that would be him going into year 4, and then you would have a 5th-year option. And if it turned out he was good, you'd have to pay a different guy top of the market money. So none of this is going to work for the Cowboys. So here's what you hope. You hope that the tools that Trey Lance has shown, hell, maybe you could use him in little tiny scenarios as a runner this year. Maybe in practice. The hard part is during a season, you don't really get snaps as a backup quarterback, so trying to think that he could even take the number 2 job is tough. But I would just give it to him. If something happened to Dak, I would just play him. Check my friend Daniel at Cowboys Stats on Twitter for some Trey Lance things and thoughts. Because like when Cooper Rush plays, yes, Cooper Rush went 4-1 last year, and if your defense plays lights out, the quarterback throws literally 0 interceptions, and you get really lucky on penalties, You could accidentally win some games with a quarterback who doesn't even try to push the ball down the field or try to make any sort of big play or challenge defense in any way. Trey Lance won't play like that. Trey Lance will offer you more. And so he probably right this second offers you more upside than Cooper Rush if a guy had to play football. Now, if you kind of like him and you want to get real wild ass, and after this year, you sign him to an extension that ain't worth much because, you know, he hasn't done anything and one team already gave up on him. And he didn't want to pay Dak. Could this turn into something intriguing and really fun? And could a top 3 quarterback end up cheap and for the Cowboys and trying to go do something special? Sure. Likely what this means is the Cowboys are trying to get a backup quarterback who's better than Cooper Rush on the cheap with an outside chance that one day he could be the next guy. That's what they're doing. The Joneses playing checkers with Dak using Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold's backup is goofy. But I do believe, Josine Anderson's reporting it, I do believe the Joneses think that could work. 100%. Because they are so goofy. How do I get to my texts? How do I get to my chats? I'm on my phone and I know I just got a super chat and I want to acknowledge it. And if I can't, I'm going to be very sad. Damn it. Son of a biscuit. I can't get to it. Whoever you are, I love you. You're the light of my life. It's super fun though, right? It's super fun to have a guy that was drafted in the top 3 2 years ago who has had basically no opportunity to become an NFL starter, has basically had no opportunity to get reps as an NFL player, had very little opportunity at throwing passes, even at the college level. Like, he is so freaking raw, but also very talented. So, I like it. Slap that with Mike McCarthy, 4th round pick. I think they would have much rather given up a 5th round pick, but they also didn't have a 5th round pick because they were busy trading for Stephon Gilmore, Brandon Cooks, and the trade up for Eric Scott. Could they have got this done for a 5th? Probably. They had to give up a 4th because they ran out of 5ths, I think. But anyway, I think it's fun. I think it's cool. I think it's neat to have a guy that for the next couple of years, and we'll see. Will he be the number 2 behind Dak? I don't know. He's incredibly inexperienced, and I don't know if they would believe more than Cooper Rush that they could put him in a game and keep this thing afloat. But he offers something way different and way better than the Cooper Rush ceiling of really just trying so hard not to F it up. Please, defense, play great. It's fun. It's fun. I was talking to Dave Hellman yesterday, and he wants to Jalen Hurts Trey Lance this year. Get to 4th and 1, put him in there and run that everybody push him around thing. Oh, it's from KG? It won't let me scroll my chats. It's from KG. I love you, KG. I don't know why it won't let me scroll back up. I can't even read what somebody said that it was because that chat scrolled down too fast. But whatever. I love you guys. I'm injured. I'm hungover. The Cowboys have Trey Lance. I think it's pretty cool. They upgraded at backup quarterback, and there's an outside chance that Trey can actually lead a receiver. Okay, we're taking shots at Dak. Here's the thing about Trey, and I don't want to do this. Trey Lance doesn't even know what NFL open is. He'll just hold the ball when people are open. So you don't compare him and Dak Prescott throwing the football because it's like a 90 versus a 15. Trey Lance has a nice arm. Trey Lance will attempt some throws if you're not talking about certain coverages, and Trey Lance is a good athlete. And yes, Will Grier will be cut. He's going to play the entire game today, and they're going to be cut, and he knows that. And that's okay. So he's trying out for other teams. Just said we love you and appreciate content you put out. Oh, thank you, KG. You're the best. You're a hero. I love you. All right, anyway. So I just wanted to get something out there because that's a big story, and it's fun. At least it's fun. It's fun. I like fun. Let's have some fun.